So in this video, we're going to talk about how you can unearth and close very lucrative annuity sales off of your final expense leads and really any kind of lead or prospecting system that you're working. If you're interested in adding more income, such as $5,000 or more per month consistently, and you're willing to look at a new product to do that, then chances are this video is for you. I'm going to give you a rundown of what annuities are, because that's the product that we use to do this for many of our agents. And then I'm going to give you some guidance and advice on what questions you can ask when you're in appointments in order to unearth annuities, and to give you kind of a sense of confidence in asking, because there's a lot of confusion. I think sometimes even worry selling annuities. And the best way to overcome that is just to address that stuff right up front to give you the confidence and conviction to start doing this, because there's a lot of money out there to be made if you know what to do and ask. My name is David DeFord. I own DeFord Insurance Group. We train agents to become top producers in final expense, whether over the phone or face-to-face. If you'd like to learn more, go to daviddeford.com/FAQ. And we actually record these videos in front of a live Zoom audience. And if you'd like to be a part of that, it's completely free. You're able to ask questions, attend live, and then also access tons and tons of free training at your leisure. Go to daviddeford.com/ISS. in order to register a free account. It costs you nothing, and we love to see you on our next filming. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to start this conversation about annuities off by talking about some agents recently who have done exactly what we're describing to make the connection between what it is that you want to accomplish versus what is actually being done. So I think kind of talking about this first makes believers out of people. So today, we were actually going to have Stephen Burgess on for the call, but he got tied up in a deal. Right now, he's helping over $1 million in business get issue paid, which means that we've got ink on paper, or we're just working on getting it funded for annuities. So one particular agent, I believe his name is Kyle, wrote a $750,000 annuity, I believe, off of a final expense lead, which is a heck of a lot of money for people that buy burial insurance policies. I have another agent, same deal, is looking to close a deal off of a $250,000 or $300,000 annuity, probably transferring money from an IRA or 401k. Don is moving somewhere between $100,000 to $150,000 in annuities off of an existing client, maybe a referral. Not quite clear on that. And then we've had another agent who started with us at the beginning of the year. It's now May 1st or May 8th, a little bit later now. Who's closed over $500,000 cross-selling annuities to direct mail leads and Facebook leads. So these are real people right now in 2023, when this is filmed, that are doing exactly what we're about to describe. So, and none of these agents knew anything about annuities until they got out there, started asking the right questions, and then learned after the fact in conjunction with our trainer. So this is something that absolutely works. It's very phenomenal, and it's something that will give you a way to realize more profit out of your insurance sales business than you currently are, or will be if you decide to start and sell final expense like with us. So a couple things I want to hit on here before we get started too. Again, a lot of the people who watch our channel and our videos are new, so we want to make sure not to leave them behind and give them some basic explanations on how things work. So we're going to talk about what annuities are, why people buy them, why they're so lucrative. And then we're going to give you some ideas on what questions to ask to unearth, and very basic training in order to unearth these opportunities. And then we're going to teach you how to close them, at least from a basic kind of big picture level. Ultimately, what we teach our agents to do is to find deals and then connect with our trainer, Stephen Burgess, in order to answer questions and to develop a prospectus, an illustration of what the client could get if they buy from us. So we do a lot of the teaching just in conjunction with what the agent has uncovered. So a lot of our effort now, as it is really as agents get started, is figuring out what to ask and where to look, because a lot of the training after you do that part is then based off of what you find and then contracted or done between you and Stephen. Okay, so what are annuities? Let's talk about this. So annuities, the best way to describe annuities is it is a insurance product that protects money against risk of market loss. So a lot of people who are interested in annuities tend to be people who are older, who are at or closer to retirement, and don't like the idea or the prospect of losing money or outliving their money if they live a long time, and potentially changing their lifestyle negatively. And this is a big concern with many people for a number of reasons. Number one, the baby boomer population is growing by 10 to 11,000 people a day, turning 65. So all of these people, and why that's important is as you're turning 65, your interests change, your concerns change. Whereas maybe you were concerned through your 40s and 50s with accumulation, saving up and creating as much money through gain as possible, you're now well concerned about, well, what happens if I'm retired and I run out of money? Well, now you're more concerned about keeping what you have created through all those years of saving. And so we call that accumulation, now the distribution phase. How can I make sure I have enough money to be distributed to live the lifestyle that I want? Case in point, I have a buddy at jiu-jitsu, a black belt, who I think he's 57, 58, something like that. And he wanted to retire this year, but he kind of got hit hard with the stock market undulating like it has recently. So he's convinced now he wants to work part-time to make up for some of the loss until he's 62 to 65, kind of depends. So he's worried and immediately impacted by what has happened in the stock market. Likewise, I don't know, but he may not be aware of what annuities do and how he could be protected from further degradation of his principal capital with an annuity product. So somebody like that is representative of a perfect annuity prospect, people that want to retire or feel comfortable in retirement and have a way to protect their money. So when you're working a Medicare lead, a final expense lead, or you're working an older population, there is a ton of people that fit this bill. And again, back to the demographic shift, the percentage of the population 65 and older is going from about 11% today to, I believe, by 2040 to about 18%. So a 50% increase, which means there's just going to be that many more prospects that are going to be interested in annuities and protecting their money from risk. Now, why sell annuities besides helping people with their money? The other side of that is just very lucrative. At DeFord Insurance Group, we pay street-level contracts or commissions, which is pretty high for annuities. Now, there's different kinds of annuities. There are some that are guaranteed interest levels for a number of years, multi-year guaranteed annuities, MIGAs for short. Or there's annuities that are tied to the performance of an index, like the NASDAQ or the Dow or S&P. Okay, so they increase in return to a percentage based off of how well the market does. And what all annuities do is there's a floor that you cannot lose money if the stock market decreases. That's, again, protection from market risk. So these are the two types of annuities, and how they pay does depend on which one that you go with. The fixed index annuity typically pays a little more than a multi-year guaranteed annuity. But generally speaking, depending on what you sell, for every $100,000 in money that an annuity is worth, the agent gets paid upfront, approximately, give or take, 5%. So on a $100,000 annuity, you would get paid on average about $5,000, which $100,000 isn't a lot of money. That stuff sits out there all over the place, especially in the final expense and Medicare market. So like, for example, Kyle, if he's writing a fixed index annuity, he's probably around more like 6%. So 6 times 7 is $42,000. So he's making somewhere in the $40,000 to $45,000 range just off of one sale. I mean, that's life-changing income. Don's probably in that $5,000 to $7,000 range since his annuity is $100,000 to $150,000. And then Jadina could be looking at, $12,000 to $15,000 in commissions. And these are one sales, guys. So that's the thing about annuities that drives a lot of interest in them, is that they're just huge commissions relative to the, $100 commissions and residuals you get off of Medicare, or, maybe the $400 to $800 average commissions that you net off of a final expense deal. So they're a nice way to bump your commission up. And like I said, if you know what to ask, which is what we're shifting into now, they pose a great opportunity to add to your arsenal and uncover more sales opportunities. So how do you find these things? Again, that's the main thing everybody should be thinking about is, okay, these sound like really good opportunities, can make a lot of money. Well, how and what do I say in order to find annuity sales? So do you work annuity leads? Well, what we teach is not to do that. If you do any kind of research in the annuity space, it's very difficult to find annuity leads that are affordable. Generally speaking, if you go through a lead system, you're probably going to do some kind of seminar marketing strategy or purchase a very expensive internet lead, which on average, the leads that are generated from either go somewhere between $300 and $400 a lead, not a sale. It may take you 4 or 5 leads to make a sale. Very expensive, but that's just the cost of doing business when it comes to purchasing annuity leads. It can work well, of course, but you got to have a pretty big old bankroll to make it work. So what should you do instead? I think what's more approachable, and what we recommend incidentally, is to work your existing lead system. Inside of any lead system that markets to seniors is the opportunity to move money. In other words, to get money out of risk, like in an IRA or 401k, and put it into security that an annuity provides. So I think the easiest way to do this is just start asking the right questions to your existing lead program, and you're liable to find plenty of opportunity just by asking critical questions, which is, again, what we've seen with the agents mentioned earlier, and what we're going to cover now. So what kind of questions should you be asking in order to uncover these annuity opportunities to add more income every month to your insurance sales efforts? So I'll give you a couple of ideas here that have worked really well. There's different questions you can ask and different ways to get people interested in listening. There's not like one method and that's it. There's multitudes of them. So let's talk about what has been proven to work. Probably the best thing to do is start talking about, how do you feel about what the stock market is doing? How do you feel about the stock market losing money? Are you worried at all about the potential for a recession or a depression? And you'll get all sorts of people talking about that concern and worry right away from the beginning. And if they start talking about that and they start expressing fear about maybe the next president coming in could cause an economy to start falling off, or they're already concerned and blah, 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 then the next question to ask is, well, hey, what if there is a way to get solid gains in the market, but to completely protect your money from ever losing another penny? Again, would you be interested in hearing more? And the likelihood is that these people are going to be like, that kind of sounds interesting. What's the catch? But either way, they're going to express some interest in what it is that you're talking about. So that's one way to do talk about a question, or to add a question into the mix to ask. You can also talk about nursing homes and the concern about the money not being there when it's most needed, and having annuities to protect against that. So what happens if somebody ends up in a nursing home? How do you protect your money against the potential that all of that money is going to be drained down and not necessarily be there? What if the stock market collapses and you need to have money to set aside for things like that? And then what some of our agents have been really working well over the past couple of months is we've really instituted more of conversations talking about wills, living wills, to kind of plan for the end and what to do in certain circumstances. We find that a lot of seniors really need to get these set up. They're not as set up well as they should be. And this gives them an opportunity to start talking about preparing for the end, and also having conversations about existing assets and how to manage and take care of those upon their death, which then opens the opportunity to sell annuities. We've seen a lot of promise and potential from doing that. And the strategies that we're employing are getting some of our agents really good results, especially Tim, who's written $500,000 in annuities this year. He's almost exclusively leading the conversation into annuities off of his leads, simply by asking about wills, living wills. Are they set up? Are you assured that everything is good to go? And it's giving him a lot of opportunity for annuity sales. So those are just some basic questions you can ask. Of course, as an agent with us, we'll teach you even more than that, how to go even deeper than the kind of cursory basic levels that I've described here today. How do you close annuities? Again, pretty simple. You connect their pain points, what their concerns are with their money, about how annuities are going to basically protect against the risks and the issues associated with it. There's a lot of different emotions and mindsets when it comes to money. Each person is different. You'll kind of learn that as you go along and figure out, why do people have money in this account? What is their goal for it? What are their concerns about it? And then making that connection. I believe Stephen had an annuity deal where the lady had, I think, like 100 or 150,000 in a 401k, and she wanted to leave the money behind to take care of her pets. Like some level 5 cat lady that really loved her cats. No kidding, not kidding here. And wanted to make sure that they were taken care of when she passed away. And so she had some concerns about the market, and that led into a conversation about, hey, if we get this annuity, you're going to protect your cats, right? Even if you're not here. whatever it takes to get the sale, ladies and gentlemen, is what we promote around here. So the deal got done and he got the sale. So the point is connecting the why with the solution and showing them how the solution, what it is that you're selling, the annuity, is the best way to solve for their main concern and their question and issues related to not having money that they would hope to otherwise have. So in short, this is how you find annuities. You've learned what annuities are today. You've learned what questions to find them and what steps to take to close them. This is a great opportunity, guys, whether you work with us or not. Annuities are a really good opportunity to add into the mix. They're really not that difficult to sell if you have someone in your corner who will walk you through the process and answer questions along the way. Again, annuities, they're simple, but they're not easy. And sorting that stuff out is very important. That's, again, why even in the annuity section of our business, we have Stephen Burgess, our one-on-one mentor, to help you out and to make sure that you're getting coached and help designing the annuity, understanding what it is that you're looking at, and having some help along the way. If you all are interested in annuities, you got to have that kind of coaching, in my opinion. Once you've kind of learned the ropes, it becomes a little bit more easy to overcome. But like everything, the beginning is the most difficult. So make sure you got a mentor in your corner to handle this stuff, because there's a lot of moving parts sometimes. So that's it. If you guys want to learn more about how we help agents in the final expense business, cross-sell annuities, and working with us, go to davidduford.com/FAQ to learn more. Thanks for watching.